Hi, in this video I thought I'd take a look at this idea of playing off chords. In the example that I used there, something that I used to play around with years ago after listening to ragtime guitarists. I remember getting Stefan Grossman books, if you remember him, from years ago, one of the first innovators of guitar tab. And I remember picking up these ideas of, so you're starting off on a G7 chord, and then playing off it like that. Go to A7, D7, and then repeat it again. And this idea that I kind of nicked off, which sounded reminiscent to me of Roger Taylor on the Jazz album. And then to do so even that, I'm going from A7 to D7. That idea, I don't even know what that is really, probably going from kind of the E to the E7. Bending the 3rd fret of the A string to an A. I'm still playing around with A. We talked about that yesterday. Back to D7 again. Does that have an idea? Now the idea of playing off chords is probably what made Jimi Hendrix great. This idea of being able to that wasn't Jimi Hendrix, by the way, that's just off the top of my head. And Brian May did playing off chords when you think of the We Will Rock You solo, which is obviously A and D, but then he plays off it. It's late. He's playing off A and D. Which gives it this full lush sound. Now I didn't want to be overly rehearsed for this video because sometimes I think you see guitar teachers do examples that have been playing for hundreds of years, they've got it well executed, and you don't see necessarily the process of writing a song. It's always written, rehearsed to death, then you are presented with it, and as say a beginner or a learner, you then have to try to follow what's being done. So this is kind of the process, trying to write something. So 5 minutes before I actually hit the record button, I was playing around with this idea with the C chord, which was very simple. What I'm doing there is I've got a C chord, if you can see that, little finger on, there's a cat crying because I've locked her up because she's been trying to attack us. Pulling off from the 3rd fret of the B string to the 1st fret. Like that. And then the 1st fret on here, pulling off to the open. So essentially what you're doing is, now we're going to keep that little thing going throughout every chord we play. Now if we're in a key of C, the chords available, if we use the 1st, 4th, 5th in relative minor chord, we have a C, D minor, E minor. So C, D, E, F, G, and then A minor. So we're going to use that idea, and that's how you kind of structure your song. If you want to deviate with something else, that's fine, but that kind of gives you the building blocks of how you're going to approach kind of trying to write something. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel with a chord progression, but it's a base to start with, and then you can work out over. So we've got the C. Then if I go to G, like that, but I'm going to keep that same, try it again. So if we go from C to G, back again, do that again. G. So that sounds quite nice. If we go to F, play it like that, doing that same. Back to C again. To G. To F. Now, if we want a mood change in the whole thing, because it will get a bit boring going round and round in a circle, we can go to A minor, which kind of works for, because you go into minor, it kind of changes the complexion. I think we see that in a lot of songs. You can hear that straight away. If I can play it correctly. This guitar put really heavy gauge strings on it, and I'm not used to them. I'm always used to playing with 9s, and these ones I think are 13s or something, but it takes a bit of getting used to. Go to F. Then I can go back to C again, start me. A minor, F, back to C. Which end kind of could come to an end. So try that idea. There's loads of ideas. We see it all the time, this idea of playing off chords. You don't necessarily have to be amazing, but we see it, you know, little things like Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. There's D, D suspended 4, D, D suspended 2, open again. Thorn in My Side by the Eurythmics. Crazy Little Thing Called Up, it's playing off a chord with that going to D suspended 4, and it brightens things up. But you don't necessarily have to be a wizard on the guitar to be able to do it. But if you're learning and you're just playing chords and you're learning to do finger picking, you can make it sound a lot more lush, a lot more interesting, and almost give the impression that you're doing a lot more than you actually are. So we're all in shutdown, we're all bored stiff, thinking of things to do. So I hope that's helped at least one person out there to give them some ideas. And as always, thank you for watching and keep safe.